mention hi and good evening. I'm glad the rain stopped so that you guys can make it here safely. We're getting ready to open up our doors for the 5th annual feast. Okay, this is an ongoing event until 8:30. There are 3 floors. On the first floor, we have a photo booth, which you are welcome to go and have your picture taken. Okay, and on the right-hand side, we have a reflection area. On your way out, we'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave them on a Post-it note and stick it to the wall. It says reflections here. On the second floor, which is our mezzanine area, we have all of our book authors, okay, and there's a stage there as well. On the third floor is all of our art, okay? So make sure you make it to each floor, please, because we do have full, jammed house full of people waiting to talk to you, and they're across all 3 floors, okay? At 8:15 precisely, we're going to have a drawing for a few of our grand prizes. One of them is a tablet computer, and one is a 3-credit scholarship. In order to be able to get the 3-credit scholarship, you have to be a degree-seeking student here at BC. Okay? For the tablet, you also have to be a student at BC or FAU, and same thing for other prizes. So basically, students are welcome to enter the drawing. If you've brought your family members, we welcome them, and you're welcome to come and talk to everybody that's here, partake in the refreshments and that kind of thing. But the drawings are for BC students. I welcome all of you. My name is Sunan Beaton Garcia, and I will see you again at 8:15 in the middle mezzanine for the drawing. Have a wonderful night, and please come on in.
Hello and welcome to the 5th Annual Literary Feast here at Broward College in Davie, Florida. My name is Erin Byrne and I'm here to introduce you to Diana Hunter, a faculty member here at Broward College. Would you describe your role here as a faculty member?
Yes, Erin, I do a lot with continuing education. I actually teach a numerous amount of different English classes. I think we get 150 different countries or so that come through. I also teach 3 different nutrition courses: Food Smart Nutrition, Nutrition and Meal Planning Basics, and Nutrition and Disease.
Excellent. And what are you presenting tonight?
3 different titles. My Food Smart book, Understanding Nutrition in the 21st Century, which I've toured twice with. And my latest book, which is Me, Myself, and Food, How to Conquer Obesity Without Dieting. And then one that I did previous to the 2 of those, The Ritalin-Free Child.
These all sound like really valuable texts. So how do you connect your work with those texts to your role as a faculty member?
Numerous ways. You teach different students different levels of English, so bringing in the different types of texts you've done actually helps them to learn to read and comprehend and do the pronunciation. Also, when you're teaching the food and nutrition, all of the things that are behavioral kind of mix together, so it gives them perspectives from different angles, which is really helpful. And I think that it teaches them a lot about the literary world, publishing, etc.
Wonderful. Well, we're so glad that you could be here tonight. And what are you looking forward to at the Literary Feast?
Nice turnout, some interesting conversation, and getting students excited into doing things with publishing and writing.
Excellent. Thank you so much for speaking with me tonight.
Quite a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Peter Diatorin. We are currently at Broward College's 5th Annual Literary Feast at Bailey Hall on Central Campus, and I'm standing here with Professor Ellis. And welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you teach.
Thank you. My name is Alfie Ellis, and I teach at Broward College South Campus. I teach business courses, and I've been doing this since 2011, and it's been a wonderful experience so far.
That's fantastic, and South Campus is a personal favorite of mine. So tell us a little bit about what you are presenting for us today.
Yes, I'm really excited about this evening's event because it provides an opportunity for me to present a book that I've just recently published. It is called Coming of Age at the Focal Point: How Senior Centers Enhance Quality of Life for Older Adults. And I have 3 primary themes for this book to explain what it really is about. It emphasizes the value of senior centers and similar community programs to older adults in our society. There are a number of activities that are available that are going to provide a lot of enrichment in their lives, and that's important. Additionally, it emphasizes the need to ensure independence and dignity for older adults. I mean, everyone wants to be able to do what they wish to do, how, when, and be comfortable about it. And this book explains how they may achieve that goal. And last, I would like to promote the need to care for and respect and honor the elderly. I think that's important.
Well, that sounds fantastic. So my next question is, how do you see this impacting the courses that you teach? Because, of course, our students are probably thinking to themselves, I'm never going to get old. How's that going to affect me?
And, you know, it's interesting. I want to also appeal to the younger population because, first, it gives them a sense of ownership to start thinking about how they may be of service to others, and in particular, older people. And as they continue to empower themselves in the classroom, especially in today's diverse classroom, it is important for them to know how to interact appropriately with individuals of all ages and from different backgrounds. So absolutely, it impacts them, yes.
That's fantastic. And then I will leave you, but before we go, thank you so much for sharing your work with us today. And tell me, what are you looking forward to tonight at the literary feast?
Yeah. Well, I really am looking forward to communicating and interacting with the students and everybody that comes through this event. I think it's a wonderful event that enriches our lives in terms of having access to information. I mean, technology and the internet really have made it possible for us to access tons and tons of information. What we do with it is the critical part, and we have to be responsible about that. So I'm excited.
Well, I am too. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Erin Byrne Davies. I'm here to introduce you to Professor Macaulay. How are you tonight?
Good, great. Glad to be here.
Excellent. Now, I was wondering if you could describe for us your role here at the college.
I'm the program manager for graphic design technology degree, the AS degree here at the college. And tonight I'm presenting a couple of books that our students have helped me produce on the subjects that they actually take. So we're actually designing books for textbooks for classes. And they're cutting more than in half the cost of the textbooks we're using in the classes. So it's a combination of all the notes, all the illustrations, and the learning materials that they would typically use in a class like topography or digital photography or design and that kind of thing.
Excellent. That sounds really, really insightful. So have you had a chance to incorporate these in classes already?
Absolutely. We're using a topography book in topography class, a Photoshop class. We have a book for that, and then photography also. And right now, so we've got them in printed form, and they're about $20 or less for each of the classes. Compared to $60, $70 for the classes. And we've created a brand called Go Design Now, which is basically a conglomeration of all these print books. We're in the process right now of turning into interactive applications for the iPad so that you can take a photography class and look at the videos and watch the lectures and everything else that goes with it. So it'll be a whole complete brand and a website as well.
That's a really great idea because students are so invested in technology as a resource for all their classes, both online and in person. So I was wondering, what have you heard so far from your students as a reaction to these devices, these textbooks?
Well, they love it, first of all, because they don't have to spend $60 on a textbook, and it's $20 instead. Secondly, they're relearning, they're taking the information that they've just learned and having to design it to explain it to others. So that process of regurgitating that information into a design form that's very expressive of the ideas is a process of design. So they're actually learning from the process of doing, and then they have something they can be proud of at the end that actually is used in future classes. So they're paying it forward to other designers.
Excellent. So they're great. It's a great cycle there. Excellent. Well, we're so happy you could be here tonight. I was wondering, what are you most looking forward to at the event tonight?
Just kind of seeing what other projects people are working on and showing what we've done so far. I'm very proud of what the students and I have done in this project.
Well, again, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So right now I'm welcoming Professor Rottenberg, who is going to tell us a little bit about what he is bringing to the literary feast today. Welcome.
Yes, actually the name of the author is Stephen Rothbard, so it's a literary name, you know. So it's a children's book called Brit is Bored. It's for children about 5 to 8 years old, something like that. It's loosely based on the personality of my niece, Britt, who actually lives in Israel, so it's not short for Brittany. That's her full name, you know. So she has a similar kind of a personality. It's kind of a bratty personality, a little bit. The character is supposed to be funny, sort of like Eloise, that character, like in The Big Hotel, sort of something like that, in a kind of a general way, you know. So it's it was done through Ex Libris, which is a print on demand, you know, and I wrote it over, I don't know, a period of years. Actually, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was visiting my brother's family and, you know, his wife in Israel, and I brought a few books to read, and at one point I was just out of, you know, I read everything and I was finished, so I had nothing to do, you know, because TV there wasn't great. I mean, didn't have much, you know, so I had to think of something to do. So I started to write a book based on the children. You know, there was nothing else. I couldn't think of anybody else. There's nobody else around or anything, and that was the original book that got this started, you know. And then this is sort of an offshoot of that, I suppose you could say. You know, somebody suggested that we used to have a writers group that we used to attend every couple of weeks or so. It met at one of the bookstores. I guess it was Barnes and Noble up in you know, way out west, one of those. And we used to meet there a few times, I guess once a couple of times a month, something like that. And so one of the people suggested that I should make it as a children's book, you know, maybe a series even, because I had a lot of different ideas. I still do, you know, for the extra books. If this one really gets started, most of them are already pretty much in draft, you know, draft form and that sort of thing. They just need illustrations. The illustrations here are pretty good, but they were done mostly on computer, you know. So they're not perfect. They're not really what I wanted exactly, but pretty good, you know. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask, what do you hope that young girls who read this will get out of reading Brit is Bored?
Hopefully entertainment. It's just a funny book. It's about using your imagination or something, you know, the idea, basically. You can see, you know, it develops, it starts more or less realistic, and then it gets a little bit unrealistic at the end, you know. So if you want to look at it, I can show you the book. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. It's over here. Yeah. So you can see it's, I don't know, can you see it? It starts off, this is the initial, see this picture? I thought this was one of the best ones, so I used this for the cover. And it has these dolls and everything. That's partly what the book has to do with, and these balloons. Let's see, that's on the back. Yeah, the balloons are on the back here, and this whole thing. It was nicely illustrated by the person who did this. This originally was supposed to be my niece's picture. You know, I had a photograph, and I wanted to use that here, or at least a drawing of the photograph. So this is the best I could do. So it's supposed to start off realistically. You know, she's supposed to be welcoming you into the book, and then it becomes more sort of cartoonish, you know, a little bit. It's a little bit different. It becomes more and more, you know, she goes through this. She doesn't want to do this, and she doesn't want to do that. You know, she takes ballet dance lessons, and let's see, piano lessons. Let's see, where's the piano? And, you know, she doesn't want to sing, and let's see, I guess that's the next one. Yeah, the piano lessons. She takes piano lessons. You know, the whole thing.
Well, this seems like it was a very fun project for you.
It took a long time to write it. I had to go back over it a million times. It's mostly cutting things out that were, you know, even now it's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit wordy here and there, you know, something like that. It does start off very brief. Yeah, that's where he gets the idea at the end. It's kind of a humorous, slightly unrealistic idea of taking dolls. Actually, she had a box of doll parts. That's what gave me the idea. She had all these boxes that she used to keep of seashells and things, and these doll parts were actually, they were taken from dolls who had fallen, you know, which had fallen to pieces for, you know, whatever. Maybe they had a fight, the two girls, you know, she has her older sister. Maybe they were fighting with the doll, I don't know. So they had all these different pieces of dolls, and from that I got the idea of putting them on strings and balloons and sending them over to these neighbors kind of say hello, and then one of the arms drops off and falls into this guy's soup. It's the idea of like the man with the here it is. He has the fly in his soup. The idea. It was the end of that's the joke. It's sort of so that's the end of the book.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. It looks like a very wonderful project. So tell us just a little bit, and we'll let you get back to what you're doing. What are you looking forward to most about tonight at the Literary Feast?
Well, meeting other people and seeing what's going on in the community, and see what everybody else is doing, and maybe I can sell a few books, perhaps, or at least get some people interested anyhow. And I can sign their copy if they want. I'll even sign it specifically to their daughter or whoever. Some child, somebody. They just give me the name. I'll put it in.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Professor Rottenberg, and thank Stephen Rothbard as well for his time. Have a great.
Like Superman, Clark Kent or something. He's a. Yeah, I know him very well.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Hello, I'm Erin Byrne Davies. I'm here to introduce you to two wonderful authors. We have Greg Brickman and Victoria Landis. Now, Professor Brickman, would you mind telling us about your project tonight?
My latest project is called The Lord, and it's way darker than some of my other books. Oh, wait a minute, I have a thing here. It's way darker, and in this book, a deranged killer is wandering around the halls of the hospital, wreaking his revenge on doctors and nurses. And my heroine, who's named Mickey Murphy, who's a night shift nursing supervisor, has to find out who is doing it and not get killed herself in the process. Okay, so it's a much darker mystery than my other ones.
That sounds so exciting.
Oh yeah, and the cover. Wait, we have to talk about the cover. The cover was designed hot off the press yesterday by Victoria Landis.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, so we have a connection.
Oh yes, there's many connections here.
Excellent. So, Victoria, tell us about your work tonight.
Well, my new book is Alias Mitzi and Mac, and it's a humorous crime. It takes place in South Florida. It's about a retired couple who thought they were doing fine until the recession hit, and then their investments didn't rebound, and one thing pushes to another, and they have to resort to crime to make ends meet and not have to sell their house. And I don't know that I can tell you what they do, but it's X-rated.
Also sounds really thrilling. And I think that topic is very relatable now. So wonderful. And I understand the two of you are in a critique group together.
We are. We're in a critique group. We have 4 other people with us. We meet every other week, and we're a very serious critique group. We're not drinking wine and telling each other it's nice. We're pointing out plot issues. We're pointing out redundant words. We're doing line edits. We're looking at. This one day told me, well, they can't do that in a fight because if you do this and you do that, the positioning's wrong. And so we're very serious about the editing, which is important for people who are publishing their own work.
And what has the critique group given you?
It has made me a much better writer. I met Greg and 3 of the other writers when we were doing a book called Naked Came the Flamingo. It was a progressive novella. We belonged to Mystery Writers. It was sponsored by Mystery Writers. It was actually edited by Barbara Parker. Yeah, we got to work with her. It was terrific.
It's also the most ridiculous book you've ever read.
It is so silly.
Still sounds good.
That's where we met these people, and since 2004, we've been critiquing each other's work. And we get together just about every 2 weeks and submit 10 pages, and everybody shows up with the 10 pages already marked up, and then we review. We look for continuity, for character, for plot points, for line edits, punctuation, grammar, the whole schmeal and description. Is there enough description? Is there too much? And over the last, how many years has it been? 9 years. I dare say we've really become much, much better writers because of it. It's really important.
Sometimes we have to go home and pout, feel bad, let it sit a couple of days, then you pick it up and you say, well, they did have a point.
darn it, they were right.
Again.
And feedback is so important. I mean, constructive criticism might hurt for a little while, but ultimately helps you grow as an artist. Now, as faculty members, it seems like everything we do in life has that tie to the classroom. So I was wondering how you connect with your work with your role as a faculty member.
Well, I teach nursing, or I did up until my temporary interim job started a few months ago, and there's not much mystery writing in nursing. How does it connect? Well, my heroes are nurses. My characters, most of my characters are healthcare related, and my nurses use the nursing process. They think like nurses, which is something I teach about all the time. But, you know, I don't teach English, so there's not a whole lot of place for my writing career in my classroom.
And what other ways does your work tie into other areas of your life?
Well, I'm an artist, so I do covers for the books. I do graphic arts and murals and things like that, so it's a natural tie-in, and for me it works hand in hand very well. I've done Greg's covers.
All of them.
Wonderful. So what are you what are you looking forward to most at tonight's event?
My agenda is to see if we can get the students to talk about critique. You know, I've done it before and talked about the books and the stories, and so tonight our message is not only our books and stories, but the value of critique, the value of other people reading your work, the value of learning from it and paying attention to it.
And I think one of the most important things, especially when people are younger, is how to get your ego out of the way, because it does sting at first, and how to get used to that and not let it bother you anymore. So that's a big part, I think.
Thank you both so much for speaking with me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening at the event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Welcome again to the 5th Annual Literary Feast. I'm standing here with Barbara June Rodriguez. Good evening.
Good evening, Peter. I'm glad to be here tonight.
So tell us a little bit about your role at the college.
Well, I am the district director of the Quality Enhancement Plan, and I'm also here as an FAU doctoral student.
Sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
A lot going on, but I have great support.
So tell us a little bit about the work that you are showcasing for us today.
Okay. I'm here as an author, and my work is basically the items I've published as a doctoral student, and they relate to assessing student learning at the community college level.
Well, I don't even have to ask how that affects the school, but I mean, tell us a little bit about the impact that will have on a college like Broward College.
Well, you know, each student, once they earn the degree, we have to make sure that the degree is worth the paper it's written on. So primarily a focus of that is assessing student learning. So my work deals with strategies that are effective for faculty and administrators to assess that learning.
And would you like to tell us a little bit about this wonderful QEP?
Oh, I would love to. Our quality enhancement plan here at Broward College is called Question Every Possibility, Think Critically. So our goal is to ensure that our students think more critically so they'll have better opportunities in the workforce.
Well, all of this sounds great to me, but tell me, before I send you back to work your magic, what is, or what rather is one of the things that you're really looking forward to tonight?
Well, I'm looking forward to engaging with the students because, as I said, my topic is assessing student learning, and I want to talk to the students about how important that is and also how important it is to think critically in their process in education and in the real world.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That all sounds wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great time.
You too.
Good evening, and I'd like to introduce you to Sheila Jones. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your role as a faculty member here at Broward College.
Hi, Erin. I teach history here at Central Campus. This is my 6th year doing that.
Well, welcome to the Literary Feast. We're wondering, what are you presenting tonight?
I'm presenting some of my research in women's history. I've done a couple things in early America. So one essay is on colonial and revolutionary Philadelphia Quaker women. And then my other 2 pieces are more on my focus, which is modern U.S. women's history and sexual harassment policy. One is about that issue in Mexico along the border with the United States. And then the other one is just a general overview of the history of sexual harassment policy in the United States.
Right, they sound like really important subjects. They're not talked about as often as possibly they should be.
Exactly, and that's kind of what both pieces are meant to do, is to understand how the issue has evolved, and it's still, despite policies against it, very much, unfortunately, a reality today.
Thank you for introducing us to that tonight. I was wondering, how do you relate the content of these texts to your role as an educator?
All of the texts, really, it's something I bring to the class. It's that little extra something that, and I don't often share with them those articles, because but I bring them up. I bring up those sources that I use, and I like to model for them how historians do their work, and so they can read those sources and then see if they come up with different conclusions, or just in general how it relates to the broader picture of society and connecting the present and the past, which is the whole goal of history anyway.
Well, this is incredibly interesting, and I was wondering, what are you looking forward to at the event tonight?
Well, this is the first time I've participated, so it's exciting to see its 5th anniversary for the Literary Feast, and I just want to look at the other work from all the great faculty here and what they've been producing in creative work as well as scholarly research.
Excellent. Well, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you, Erin.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. This is the 5th Annual Literary Feast, and I'm here with Phyllis Babko. Good evening.
Hi.
So first of all, you make up for my faults. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your role here at the college.
Okay. I am a faculty member at Florida Atlantic University. I am recently retired from 20 years at FAU in branch campus administration. I was the associate vice president for the Broward campuses and really spent a lot of time helping to build this Davie campus, the FAU half of it, working closely with our Broward College partners. But when I teach in educational administration or educational leadership, mostly master's and doctoral students, and my specialty is adult students. So I teach people to prepare to teach and manage adult students.
So, not very much at all.
I love it.
Well, no, that's fantastic, and that's a wonderful CV. So tell me a little bit about what you're presenting for us today.
I'm presenting the 3rd phase of a 3-phase national research project. I've been active with people in the National Association of Branch Campus Administrators because I care about branch campuses. I've worked on them for years, and I care about the adult students who are most often found there. The first phase of the research is published in Metropolitan University's journal, and it's about creating a typology, a language around what is a branch campus, what is a teaching center, things like that. The second phase is about hiring faculty and deciding what programs to have on a campus. The third phase, which is the one I'm doing today, is about what kinds of student support services does a branch campus need. And it's based on public and private institutions, 2- and 4-year, nationwide. And we see that as you get more students and you add more services, there seems to be a pattern. Which services for a small campus, which ones do you add as your campus grows? So that's what I'm presenting. Material that helps doctoral and master students who might work in a college or university do a better job at making decisions about what services they need to provide.
That sounds like a fantastic project and has direct effects on the campus here at Broward as well as FAU. So, I mean, well...
It's nice to have people interested in your work, but I hope that it's informative for the students. This is not I've been involved in this event before. I think it's a great event, and I'm happy to be here.
We're so happy that you could come here as well. So thank you for your time.
Hello, I'd like to introduce you to Edgar and Brittany. They're both here tonight to promote a project. Tell us a little bit about Designer's Edge and the project you're presenting tonight.
Designer's Edge is the FAU graphic design student group, and we produce Remark, which comes out every year, and it features FAU student work in graphic design, photography, architecture, even film, video, and new media stuff.
Excellent. Tell me about your role with the project.
I was the art director for the magazine. We went through a selection of almost 700 works, and we chose the best 150, and they were published in the magazine this year.
Very good. Tell me more about your participation with the project personally.
I was editor-in-chief, so I was in charge of just putting everything together, having everybody do their own jobs, judging down the works, everything.
So what would you like people to take away from your participation in the event tonight? What would you like to know the most?
I think awareness about our club and the works that we do. Our students are very committed to this work, and that's pretty much it.
What would you particularly like to share?
Also because the arts at FAU aren't as known, and I think that this magazine definitely helps bring awareness to all of these programs and how important they are, as careers and such.
Very good. What are some examples of the design that you've worked on?
On the magazine? Sure. One of the works that I had published was this logo over here for a scavenger hunt. It was an app design competition that I ended up winning, and it was published. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
What work has stood out for you so far in the project?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I'm so sorry. What example of the work has stood out for you so far in the project? Any particular designs that you're proud of?
Oh, well, I'm really proud of the social awareness section, because it also shows that we're not just designing just anything. We're also bringing in content and showing real world examples.
We're so happy you could participate in tonight's event. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
So my name is Peter Diator, and we are at the 5th Annual Literary Feast, and I have stumbled upon a young gentleman who will be telling us a little bit about his experience here today. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Marvin Davis.
And what do you do at this college or FAU?
Well, I work at FAU in the Office of the Registrar, and I'm also a student at FAU as well, so I came to cultivate my mind and see what the Literary Feast had to offer, and thus far I'm really enjoying myself.
Okay, well, what have you learned thus far at the Literary Feast?
Well, one particular interest I had was in Dr. Babko's research about branch campuses. As a university administrator and interest in growth at the university, I felt that a lot of the information that she had is very beneficial to me. The research talked about the various departments that are essential at the university, and in particular to the branch campuses. And I found that information to be something that I'll be able to utilize in my future growth and development here at Florida Atlantic University.
Oh, that is fantastic. So you're actually seeing, actual impact on the things that you do here at the Literary Feast.
Yes, that's correct. Professionalism and growth and development are very important to me. And at this point, her expertise is very beneficial, and I feel that it's something that I'll be able to utilize for years to come.
Well, I'm so glad you're having such a wonderful experience. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you for having me. You all have a great night.
You too.
Hello, I'm here with Daphne. She's one of our wonderful Broward College students. How are you enjoying the feast tonight?
I'm doing well. I think it's wonderful. I'm learning a lot of new things about people who wrote, different books and things that really inspired them. And, I really like that.
Excellent. Who's been your favorite presenter tonight?
Diana Hunter. I'm learning. She inspired me because the reason she wrote the book about her child. I also have 2 kids that have cerebral palsy, so I'm learning a lot. Different nutrition things I could do that will help myself and my kids' health. So she was the favorite one, and she actually explained, well, so I could understand.
That's so important.
Yes, it is. It is definitely these days. People have high blood pressure, they have diabetics, and it's good to have a good nutrition. So I was very inspired by her.
Well, I so appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the 5th Annual Literary Feast. I'm Peter Diator, and I have found yet another young gentleman who will stand and talk to us for a little bit. So would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Andres Gonzalez. I'm a FAU student. I'm just here to find some information.
So how have you been enjoying yourself thus far?
It's been great. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of the atmosphere is great. The food's great. I mean, people here are great. It's a lot of fun.
So, have you learned anything particularly interesting or thought-provoking?
Yeah, there's this FAU group, Designer's Edge, that is, I mean, it's so inspiring, all the work that's there. I mean, I want to be a graphic design student, so it's a lot of, you know, it's interesting.
So would that be your favorite table that you've visited thus far?
I think so, yeah.
No shout-outs to any other tables, though?
I mean, no.
I put you on the spot. It's okay. So, but I'm glad you have been enjoying yourself, and good luck. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Hi, I'm here with Professor Lourdes Rodriguez Florido, and she's here to present a project tonight. But first, tell us a little bit about your role as an educator here at Broward College.
Okay. I'm an English professor here at Broward College, South Campus. I teach composition courses as well as literature courses.
Very good. And what are you presenting tonight?
I'm presenting my young adult novel. It's called White Trees. It's set in South Florida, about 3 teenagers who are involved in a love triangle and sort of the conflicts of their life and loves.
How do you connect your role as an artist, as an author, with your role as a teacher here?
Well, I think it's great to have real writing experience. Along with this book, I worked for many years as a journalist, a print journalist. So I've actually brought some of my articles and stuff. So, like, I can tell them, writing, the process of writing, it's not easy, you don't just publish or put out, the first thing you do. So, I can tell them my struggles with writing and also how enjoyable it is and how much it, enriches your life.
Very good. So you've had the experience that you're sharing with them.
Right. And, I think that's good. I think it's good that they see that teachers as well as teachers also, work on the project. I just finished another novel, which I'm revising, I'm working with an editor actually in the revision process. So, I want to keep at it, and it's a lot of work, and, but it's exciting as well. And so hopefully I can instill a little bit of excitement about writing and love of literature, which I think is so important.
It absolutely is. And we're so looking forward to this next project, and I'm so happy that you could join us here at the Literary Feast. What are you looking forward to most here at the event tonight?
Oh, for tonight? Yeah, I'm sorry. I
apologize.
It's okay. I think it's really neat to just be able to meet a lot of, I work out at South Campus, so it's nice to come to Central, meet a lot of students out here, and just, this event is really nice. I mean, the music, the atmosphere, it's very exciting to see what my colleagues have done also and what other people are doing. So it's a great event. It really is. It's a nice yearly event.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I am so glad that everyone has been able to make it to the feast. We are so glad to see all of you. And did you guys have a good time? Good. That's what we want to hear. Okay, so we are very connected here at the feast. We're on Instagram, I believe Twitter, definitely Facebook, so make sure you like us. And Bailey Hall has Foursquare, so be sure to check in before you leave. We have a photo booth downstairs. If you haven't taken your picture, selfie downstairs, you can do that. We have a really cool backdrop and some props. So on your way out, take your picture at the photo booth and then post it on one of the social media sites and share with other students what a great time you had tonight. We had a lot of wonderful presenters, and we really appreciate having them here. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to now hand the stage over to the Dean of the Library, who helps us make this work. Not only the library, but also the Broward College and FAU bookstores, FAU administration and Broward College administration, also the Broward College Food Services, who have wonderfully fed everybody tonight. So we want to thank all of them, right? Okay, so I'd like for you to meet our Dean, Dean Murillo, and she's going to speak to you, and then we're going to do the drawing.
Good evening. First of all, I am so pleased at the attendance that we've had today. This is my first feast, and what a feast it's been. This has been an incredible venue for faculty and students to engage with others, to express and share their work. A wonderful opportunity to continue the learning experience for all of our students. It's been a pleasure for me. There's so much to be learned, and it's been a real opportunity over the past 5 years of having this engagement between faculty of Broward College and Florida Atlantic University. So I want to express my gratitude and my appreciation to the committee that's been working on this since last summer. A lot of meetings, a lot of coordination, a lot of work in establishing those that would be presenting, preparing the venue, and today and the last week, how much work it's taken to get it all together. The food service was incredible, a change from what's been done in the past, and it's been really impressive, so I want to thank you for that. And for the students, this is just the beginning of what college experience is all about, meeting authors and artists, and there's so much that this college and this community offers to our students. Make sure you make the most of it. So let's start off with the gift, raffle, what are we supposed to call it?
The drawing.
The drawing.
So let's start with this, the FAU package. So please, if you take one and read it out loud. You must be present to win, and a student.
You must be present to win. The first gift is a gift basket, and it goes to Patricia Meyer. Patricia Meyer, are you here for the gift? Okay. Okay. Another gift basket, and this one goes to, okay, I think it's Katuska Mendez de Pina. Third gift basket, this one goes to Karen Juarez. Karen. Okay, the next item is a $75 gift card to Barnes & Noble, and that goes to, I think it's Andrea Gutierrez. Is that correct? Does that look right? Yes. Good. That's the tablet. Okay, the next item is a tablet. So if your ticket is here, pray hard, whatever works for you. Let's see who gets. All right, the tablet goes to Ana Vasquez Bello. The next item that's being given away must be collected at the BC Library here at Central Campus. It is a scholarship for a 3-unit course. You must be a BC degree seeking students to qualify. So we'll select the name. You have to come to the library to receive it. It's on behalf of the Broward College Foundation. We thank them for their contribution. And you must bring your ID card when you collect the scholarship. And this scholarship goes to Lucia Sepulveda. Lucia Sepulveda, are you here? Yes? Good.
Congratulations.
Did you have this? No? Okay, that's it? All right.
Okay, we have one more raffle, and this was for the table of Diana Hunter Gonzalez, and it's food safety books. And she has 3 books that she's raffling away. So I have 3 here. 204 521. 204 521. Do we have a winner? 204 521. Going once? Going twice? All right. New draw. Do we have a person? 204 503. 204 503. All right. And you have your picture taken here, and you can collect the book at the table. (204 510). 204 510. Going once? Going twice? 204 493. 204 493. Going once? Going twice? Let's try again. 204 511. 204 511. Got one? Okay, perfect. Yep. Have a picture taken here, sir, and collect your book. Okay, we have our 3 winners. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope you had a wonderful evening. Good night.